The 12 Huntsmen. There was a king's son who loved dearly a beautiful maiden. One day as he was sitting beside her, a messenger came to him. "Your father is very ill," said the messenger. "You must come at once to his bedside. He wishes to see you before he dies." Then the king's son said goodbye to the maiden. "I have a long journey before me," he said. "Take this ring as a sign that when I am king I will come back for you." Then he rode away. When he reached the palace, he found his father's end very near. "Dear son," said the king, "I have sent for you to make me a promise. It is that you will take the wife I have chosen for you," and he named to him a king's daughter. These words made his son very sad. How could he refuse the last request of a dying father? He answered, "Dear father, I will do my best to please you. If she is willing, I will marry the princess." Soon after, the old king died and his son became king. For the sake of his promise, he sent and asked the king's daughter to become his wife. She agreed, and a day was set for their marriage. The maiden whom he loved heard this news and she grieved until it seemed as if she would die. "Dear child," said her father one day, "why are you so sad? If anything you wish can be done, tell me and I will do it." "My father," she said, "I wish to have with me 11 maidens like me in face and form and size." Her father answered, "You shall have them, if it be possible." He sent messengers far and wide to find 11 maidens like his daughter. She and her maidens dressed themselves. She said goodbye to her father and rode away to the palace of a young king. "Tell your master that I am one of 12 huntsmen who wish to serve him," she said to the servant at the palace door. The king came out to speak to her, but he did not know her in her huntsman's dress. He was pleased with the 12 so alike in face and dress, and they became his huntsmen. Now the king had as friend and servant a wonderful lion. It could not only speak, but it was so wise that it found out many hidden things. One evening it said to the king, "You think that those are 12 young men who are serving you, do you not?" "Yes," said the king. "They are my 12 huntsmen." "You are mistaken," said the lion, "they are 12 maidens." "Ah, no," said the king. "That cannot be true." "Let us prove it," said the lion. "Strew peas in the hall and you will all see. A man has a firm step. He will crush the peas or pass without moving them. The maidens trip and slide, and they will set the peas rolling." The king ordered the hall to be strewn with peas. One of the king's servants had heard the lion's advice. Laughing, he said to the huntsman, "Only think. The lion wishes the king to believe that you are maidens." Then he told how they were to be put to proof. The king's daughter laughed and said, "It is a joke." When she was alone with her maiden, she said, "Be sure to step strong and firm on the peas." The next morning the king sent for the 12 huntsmen, and he met them in the hall. They were mindful of what the maiden had told them, and they stepped so hard and firm on the peas that not one even moved. After they were gone, the king said to the lion, "You deceived me. They walk like men." "Yes," said the lion, "they learned that they were to be put to proof, so they trod hard and firm. Now prove them in a way they do not expect. Have 12 spinning wheels placed in the hall. They will be pleased and will look at them while men would not." The king gave orders for 12 spinning wheels to be placed in the hall. The servant, however, who really believed the huntsmen were young men, told them this plan also. "We must not even glance at the spinning wheels," said the maiden. "Let us be sure to walk straight forward." The next morning the king sent again for his 12 huntsmen. They passed through the hall with firm steps and not one glanced at the spinning wheels. "Wrong again, lion," said the king. "They did not look at the spinning wheels. They are men." "No," said the lion, "they found out again that they were to be put to proof." But now the king would not listen to the lion and had no more faith in his words. Every day the 12 huntsmen went with the king into the forest. One day, when they were out hunting, a messenger rode up to the king and said, "Sir, the king's daughter, whom you are to marry, is on her way to the palace." The maiden, who was the king's chief huntsman and rode at his side, heard this speech. In her grief, she fell fainting to the ground. The king did not know what was the matter, but he ran to her help. He raised her up and after a while drew off her glove. On her finger he saw the ring which he had given as a sign of his love. Looking close at her face, he saw that she was the Amur's. Nothing in the world shall change that. So he sent a messenger to the king's daughter to say that he had a wife whom he had chosen before he knew her. Then she returned to her own home. The lion was again taken into favor, for, after all, he had spoken truth.